Hey everyone, welcome back to English with Catherine. Today we've got a very requested video, Business Meeting Etiquette. However, before we get started on that, just give me a second, I have to tell you something. Today I want to tell you about an amazing online teaching platform that I know very well called italki. I used to have Spanish lessons when I lived in Spain using italki, and I thought the whole experience was really great. What is unique about italki? There are so many language platforms, aren't there? Let me tell you about italki. For me, choosing italki was simple. The lessons are pay as you go, which is amazing. There's no subscriptions. The classes are customizable, so they're very easy to personalize to your needs. They have more than 30,000 teachers, teaching more than 150 languages. To find the right teacher, you can just search by lesson category, and you can even use the search bar to narrow down your results even further. The classes are really affordable. They start from just $5. And actually the other day I had an amazing Japanese class. The lesson was with this lovely teacher called Cosimo. Such a talented teacher. So the reason I had a Japanese lesson is because my boyfriend's brother's wife is Japanese, and next year we want to go to Japan and I really want to be able to communicate a bit. My teacher not only taught me some amazing daily phrases, he also told me a little bit about the culture. I'm always saying the best way to learn a language is to combine the culture with the language to make it a good package.
いらっしゃいませ。
すみません。寿司お願いします。
はいどうぞ。Very good. Yeah, very good.
So he gets a thumbs up from me. So you can start your language learning journey by clicking the link in my description box. And don't forget to use the promo code that I have for you, which is Catherine, spelt with an E, which will enable you to buy $10 and get $5 for free for your first class. The discounts are only available for the first 50 users, so quickly head there now. I'm wishing you all the luck with your journey and let me know how it goes. Business Meeting Etiquette. What does that mean? Well, this is about how to behave in a business meeting in Britain. Every country has its own rules for etiquette, for everything to do with eating in a restaurant or business meetings. And if you're going to that country or working in that country, it can be pretty essential to know about these things. Knowing about business meeting etiquette makes sure you're not going to put your foot in it, which means say the wrong thing or behave in the wrong way, which could offend people or make you come across in the wrong way. I mean, it could be a disaster, to be honest. And business meeting etiquette is important because it improves communication, it increases productivity, and improves relationships. And as we all know, business is kind of all about relationships, isn't it? Everything is flying everywhere outside. Today we're going to focus on how to interject in a meeting. And this was actually asked by lots of you in the comment section. You were all asking me, how do I politely interject in Britain? How do I kind of cut in and make a point without sounding too direct or too rude? Note that I'm not saying interrupt here, and this is part of the culture. So we don't interrupt, we interject, which is slightly different. Interrupting is kind of cutting into what someone's saying in a kind of rude way, and the other person might be like, I wasn't finished. So we don't really want that. Interjecting is like the elegant skill of just shooting in your comment right in the moment where it belongs. Because in British culture, we're really not about offending people. It can very often be a little bit artificial even, but you know, at least the energy is nice and calm, usually. So why would you need to interject? You might need to offer another perspective, provide an update on something, correct something that you believe is very wrong, or to ask for clarification on something. Is this you? You're in a meeting with lots of colleagues. It could be online or in real life. And there are a lot of British natives. Maybe you don't understand most of the accents. You're feeling quite tense. And they're all talking about a project. Mainly your boss is talking about a project that you're really involved in and you know a lot about. You may even be in control of the project that your boss is talking about. You have thoughts to share, but you don't. Because 1, you don't know how to. 2, you're afraid of sounding too direct or rude. And 3, they're talking so much you just feel that you can't get a word in edgeways, as we say in English. And you wait for the right moment that feels appropriate, but the moment never comes. And the meeting ends and you feel defeated and frustrated with yourself. And overall, you just don't feel like yourself. How do we interject? Now, obviously, in order to interject, you need daily English, the vocabulary that we're using in everyday life, modern, up-to-date, daily business English. Check out a few of my other videos that are about daily English. Most of them are, to be honest. So you should always try to build on what the previous speaker has already shared. Changing the subject completely is a bit more difficult. You can say, oh, before we move on, can I just add something? We're adding words like just to soften it here. It's such a small word, just, but it just it adds a kind of delay so that it sounds longer and softer and sort of more polite. If you said, can I add something? It would be fine, but can I just, it's like saying, it's only a little point, just hear me, listen to what I have to say. Again, a cultural point. You could also say, sorry, there's just something I need to say. Sorry, could I just make a comment? Sorry, there's just something I need to add to that. Sorry, there's just something I need to say here. You've probably noticed that I'm saying this quite fast. And I guess it probably is quite fast, which might be a bit challenging for you. You know, not only do you have to learn the language, but you have to try and speed it up when you're already feeling a little bit stressed. But I'm sure you'll get the hang of it. The more you do it, the better you'll get. Practice makes perfect. Do you mind if I just jump in? I've got an idea that relates to what you just said. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I'd like to add something to that if you don't mind. Now, if you don't mind is used a lot in business meeting etiquette. It kind of doesn't want to put the other person out, as in doesn't want to inconvenience the other person. You're constantly being considerate to others, showing that you care about the people around you having the meeting. And just a culture point on this, you can see that it's all quite indirect, it's all quite soft. It's just a really kind of civilized way to have maybe quite a heated discussion as well, because don't forget, sometimes meetings do get a bit heated. You know, people can feel really passionately about their opinions, but it's all about toning it down slightly. Obviously, if you want to interject, doing it in the right way. So your interjection should be substantial, but not too long. Definitely not longer than a minute or two. Start by stating your purpose for interrupting or interjecting. Be as concise as possible. After you're finished, it's quite polite to hand everything back to the facilitator of the meeting. For example, thanks for allowing me to jump in, Greg. I'll pass it back to you now. Pro tip. Now, I know I said earlier that you should try to speak quite fast, but there is a limit. Don't be too fast. This is actually something I have experience with teaching someone about. This lovely Italian student I used to have called Veronica. She just had this habit of being so fast when she was doing business, like when she was in meetings. And she told me that she could tell people were kind of irritated by her. They didn't look like they were listening. And I just said to her, Veronica, just chill, calm down, take it down 3 notches, maybe 4. But she just slowed down and it sounded great. And it actually gave her an opportunity to pronounce words better, because I think part of the problem with her colleagues is that they didn't understand her when she spoke too fast. And obviously she was nervous and she would just speed up. She got a promotion. Seriously, she got a promotion like a month later. Wow, it was so great. And Veronica, if you're out there, get in touch. I miss you. I really miss our conversations. So guys, I hope that helped you a little bit. Obviously, there's a lot to learn about etiquette in general when it comes to business and business meetings, punctuality, socializing with your colleagues. I mean, there's a lot. So I'll definitely make more videos about this. If it's useful, let me know in the comments if it is. And yeah, I'm wishing you lovely business meetings where you make incredible deals that change the world. Wishing you a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye!